All right, welcome to the after show, ladies and gentlemen. The Get Up Crew after show. Thank you for liking and subscribing. If you haven't, please do that right now. And today, we got to talk about Anthony Edwards. He's a Timberwolves basketball player who the rumor was that he's had babies with multiple women. He's only like 23 too, right?
Yeah, he's young. He's real young.
That's ridiculous. And one of the women, the latest one, the rumor was that he wanted so much not to be in this kid's life. So much not to be in this kid's life that he gave her a lump sum payment. So, like, think of it like a lottery ticket. You win a lottery ticket, and they're like, oh, you can get this much broken out over 20 years or just take this much right now in one lump sum. He gave her 18 years worth of child support in one lump sum. Now, it came back not to be true.
Right. She posted on her social media that was not true. But did you want to?
I think this is going to be the new thing that people do.
Well, here's the thing, though. Because the story about him not wanting to be in the kid's life isn't wrong. Because so what happened was he's filing a suit against her and is filing to keep the court documents sealed because supposedly he does not want to have custody, any sort of custody, and really wants nothing to do with the kid with the exception of just paying child support. Allegedly. How
does that work? So, like, you're allowed to tell the kid, though, hey, that guy on TV right there, that's your dad. Or is it like, don't even tell the kid that I'm his dad? Is that that's going to be something? It sounds ridiculous, but you know that's going to be something eventually that some athlete does.
It is, and this is why when it comes to Anthony Edwards, I'm disgusted and I'm hurt too, because I get it. Families break up and kind of fall apart. My own family fell apart. So, and I know how it has impacted not only myself, but my kids too. So that's the reality. But to purposely, to upfront be like, yo, I don't want anything. I'm just going to create a broken home. That bothers me a whole lot. That really, really does. And then the other thing that bothers me, there's two. Obviously, I love sports. We all love sports. We're fans of the NBA or whatever. His name has been mentioned as one of the faces or future faces of the league, Anthony Edwards. Future face of the league. They've been pushing it. The media's been pushing it. I don't want to say the league, but to some degree, yes, the league's been pushing it too. And then you have somebody, let's say Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum has his son at the game. He's a family guy, as far as we know. He goes to work. He goes home. And yet the media and the league are like, we don't want him as the face of the league. Yeah, whatever. And I'm like, dang, I'm trying to figure out why. And I thought about it some more, and we got to look at ourselves too. I think the NBA looks at the consumers like us and says, you know what? They actually like dysfunction. They'd rather have dysfunction and they see themselves in people who are dysfunctional instead of people who are, I don't want to say normal, but live a traditional or are family, about family. And that's a huge problem.
I think what you're saying is can be spoken in general terms and not just the NBA. You're right. It's and I'll admit it. We thrive on dysfunction.
Yes, we do.
You know what I mean? Look at any TV show. Well, there are exceptions. I think Pebbles is probably an exception to this. I think you really do like happy all the time.
It should be that way.
Which I do like happy, but I do also like dysfunction, and I will find it in my TV shows. I will find it in, just things that I like to watch.
Well, okay. I won't say I want happy all the time because I just don't believe you can be happy all the time. I think there should be a range of emotions, but the whole thing about like wanting bad for people and just like trying to drag people down, like drama just for the sake of drama, that's what I don't like.
And I didn't necessarily mean us feeling happy all the time. I meant as far as entertainment. I feel like with you and your entertainment,
I like
think
sadness.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
See,
I like to cry.
I bring up the show all the time, but anyways, Pop the Balloon. I watched the most recent one. And while I'm watching it, I have to admit I'm guilty, and I need to work on this. The conversations were going too well, and I was like, this is kind of boring.
See?
What's wrong with that though? It's entertainment. That's what they're supposed. They know what people like. People like drama. They like.
Right.
Because that's a society.
Yeah.
It feels like it just becomes a societal issue where it turns it into this is how people act. It's like if you get attention and you act like this,
Yep.
you're gonna get attention. You're gonna get money. You're gonna get and that I think that's a problem. I don't know. I do.
It's definitely a problem, but I don't know if any of us are willing to fix that problem. I think that
I think anybody
it's
is.
entertainment and people thrive on it, and that's
I don't want to fix the problem. What's wrong with liking? If you can make the separation in your head and be like, I'm watching this mess just as a way to entertain me, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's the problem. A lot of people can't make
Well,
they can't look at it and separate and
Well,
say,
let them
this
figure
isn't-
that out with their therapist or with whoever. Then maybe they're not allowed to watch TV. Don't ruin it for me.
I wish it was that way. I would say, okay, and I know how you like to use pies as an example. I would say 75 to 80% of people who consume entertainment don't know how to separate the entertainment from reality. Or they don't know how to not let it impact how they move.
That's their problem.
It's not, because then it ends up impacting us.
Listen, all I know is growing up, I saw some of the most shows that right now
Yeah.
would never be
Oh, yeah.
allowed to be on TV.
Yes.
And I love them. And I still go back and watch old episodes. In Living Color.
Yeah.
One of, maybe I would argue, the greatest sketch
Love
comedy
it.
show of all time.
Yep.
They would never allow those sketches on TV right now.
Right.
But if we're going by what you're saying, well, we're not allowed to watch that because somebody somewhere is, I don't know what they're doing, but they're not just looking at it as entertainment.
I can't give you a clear answer why, but today it does seem like the influence that entertainment has on especially young people is just extremely stronger. Like if we go back
Well,
to
that's
that
why they
time,
need dads in their life and not guys like Anthony Edwards who are like, here, money,
But
I'm
it's
out.
social media. That's the answer.
Oh,
it's social
yes,
media
yeah.
now, because now, social media is everywhere. Everyone's on it. And all you're seeing every day is highlights and clips. And, you're getting a 30-minute show broken down into a minute clip on social media, and it's going viral. And that's how people are getting more, it's just more in our faces, I guess,
Yeah.
now with
There-
social media.
There was a time when you would go out to a restaurant and everyone, for the most part, would know how to behave. Ramiro, I kid you not. Because in my belief of what we're seeing, let's say Real Housewives of Atlanta or whatever, you can now go out and you have to kind of keep your head on the swivel and say, hey, is an argument going to break out? Is someone going to throw something at someone? And you start seeing what's
That's really
supposed
sad.
to be in entertainment is trickling into real life, and it's becoming common. It's scary.
So be it. Don't ruin my entertainment. I don't know what you want me to say. We can't change it because somebody out there doesn't understand. Do not do this in real. You know how they have those things in the bottom of commercials? Don't try this for real. But you have to tell me not to try and drive a car off a building in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess there's somebody out there who would try it. Well, all right, whatever. Now they have their little disclaimer. But there's always going to be dumb people, no matter what you do. There's no way to completely fix society. You should just be thankful that you're not one of the morons that everybody else is like, I can't believe this idiot did that because of something he saw on TikTok or on TV or whatever. I'm already trying to pump that into my kids. My son loves, superhero shows and all that stuff. And I'll constantly explain to him, you know what, Spider-Man's not real, right? And I can tell he gets hurt. I can tell he gets, no, I
Why
don't
are you
care.
going to do that to him? Let him enjoy the fantasy for as long as he can.
I said, that is somebody pretending to do that in a movie. And I'll play like games with them. I'll be like, hey, do you know that the voice of that also did this? I'll play something and go, hey, do you know who, does that voice sound familiar? And my daughter and him will try and figure it out. And I'll say that they play like one of your favorite characters who's like wearing a mask or whatever. Like, like Tom Holland in a movie. I'll be like, listen to that voice. Is that Spider-Man? I'm like, yeah, he's an actor. He's pretending. You don't really have people. I mean, somewhere there's people probably dressed up and trying to save the day, but that's because they're idiots and they could separate entertainment from reality.
Oh man. Well, I'm hoping for the best. If the NBA can hear me, I'm just speaking for myself. Y'all gotta pump the brakes on pushing Ant Edwards as the face of the league.
I don't think they'll do that though, because that's why for so many years, they had Tom Brady as like the face of the league because they were like, he's a nice guy and stuff like that. I think the league's they'll push the nicer guy who's not as good better than like the awesome player who's a scumbag.
Being an NBA fan, all I know is that the last two big names to be pushed as supposedly the future of the league have been Ant Edwards and Ja Morant.
Oh, see?
And
No
both,
way.
Both have had major off the court issues, and it's baffling. I can't figure it out. Why you have somebody like JT, Jason Tatum,
Or even Jaylen Brown, who does a lot in the community.
and they get clowned for it.
You know what? Yeah, you're right.
Do
we thrive on dysfunction.
Do we know that they've been? I mean, I don't know if you get approached for something like that, or if they've been approached and maybe turned it down. I can actually see, like, for some reason, maybe not Jason Tatum, but I can see Jaylen Brown turning it down for some reason.
I don't know about being approached. I don't think anyone's approached, but the conversations you hear in the media and all that, you kind of get where they're trying to go with it.
Yeah.
And anytime Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, it is slowly starting to turn, but for the most part, they get clowned for being
Nice
productive, nice guys.
Yeah.
They're called boring. Boring.
Whatever, man.
Scary world, man.
Ramiro's like, whatever.
Be boring and win. That's all I care about. All right. Anyway, thank you for checking out the after show. Don't forget to like and subscribe.